With E3 said and done, we were expecting more answers to some of the bigger pressing questions that we've had regarding Halo Infinite, at least over the last year. But as to be expected, we were left with more questions than answers. The biggest one being, where is Cortana and what's happened to her? I think that 343 has been subtly hinting at us what they're going to do with Cortana for Halo Infinite. And as you can tell by the title of this video, we're talking about the Harbinger, which I fully believe is Cortana. Just at least a code word for her. If we look at the definition of Harbinger, it says a person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another, a forerunner of something. It's kind of ironic that we see the definition, a forerunner of something, and Cortana is literally now at least a forerunner Ancilla or a forerunner AI, being that she's reinvented herself using forerunner technology. It's almost too good to be true. Furthermore, evidence that supports this is that in Halo 5 Guardians, there is an achievement that you can get called Harbinger. This achievement is only unlocked by completing the mission The Breaking on Legendary. It's the first time you get to see the new Cortana since Halo 4. And in the Halo timeline, it's been several years since the last time Master Chief has seen Cortana. It's only fitting that she's the Harbinger, given what she does at the end of Halo 5 and moving forward. I don't want to spoil any of the books, but if you haven't read Shadows of Reach or Halo Bad Blood, you definitely want to give them a read, because they do have some interesting information which kind of will give you some insight on what is going on between the events of Halo 5 Guardians and Halo Infinite. There is a 2-year time span in the Halo realm where we're still trying to figure out what is actually going on. And it's based off of my interpretation of what I've seen in the books and what the information that we've gotten thus far from 343, that Cortana is the Harbinger. In the books, they refer to Cortana, at least in the early portion or right after she takes her Guardians and starts to pacify the solar systems, as the apparition. But it would only make sense that if she's gathering Forerunner technology and she's using it to enact her will upon people, that she may partner with the Banished, so that way she could gain control over the other remaining Forerunner installations, the Halo rings, without the need for risking the Guardians or knocking the rings completely out using the electromagnetic pulse that the Guardians have. She would need boots on the ground, and being that she's an AI, she doesn't really have that. She does have the Prometheans, but they seem to be limited from what I gather in the books. So by partnering with the Banished, she can use them as her boots on the ground to gain control over the Halo rings, which we know at the end of Halo 5 Guardians, at least if you've completed the legendary cutscene, you see that she's taken over a Halo ring. We also see that at the end of Halo Wars 2, she takes over another Halo ring. And so it only stands to reason that she would want to take over as many rings as possible as a last-ditch effort should the rest of the civilizations rise against her. She could pacify everyone in one fell swoop, and it's not going to affect her at all. She's an AI. She's not a sentient being, so the rings wouldn't kill her. And if the Flood make a return, her having control of the rings would allow her to purge the systems of the Flood. And what most people don't know is that the Halo rings have a maximum range of 25,000 light years, but you can tone it down, and you can make a Halo pulse to just affect one single planet if you need to. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we see Cortana do, is gather these Halo rings, or what she's attempting to do in Halo Infinite is gather these Halo rings so that way she could use them as the ultimate peacekeeping weapon, a nuclear deterrent, as it were. it only makes sense that Cortana is Harbinger. I don't see any other way around it. I've seen other people mention that they think it might be Mendicant Bias, which is another Forerunner AI that we see talked about a lot in the Halo books. But I just don't think there's enough information at this time to back that theory. I think it's kind of just a shot in the dark. Something that people want to see. It would definitely be cool to see Mendicant Bias in the game, or at least mentioned in some way. But I doubt that Mendicant Bias is the Harbinger. I 117% believe that the Harbinger is Cortana, and that she's partnered with the Banished in order to take over the Halo rings. I don't know. You tell me what you think. I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope to see you in the next one.
I chose you because you were special. I knew we would be perfect together. And I was right.